Yeah, I'm hungry. Bubble up, I'm hungry. You make me some lunch? Hello, and welcome to the Once Upon a Corgi podcast. We are a crafty puppy podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. My name is Gabby, your host. You can find me at all the fun places online at Gabbigills or at Once Upon a Corgi. You can find all my hand-dyed yarn at onceuponacorgi.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for coming back if you're a returning viewer, and thank you for giving us a chance if you're a new viewer. Iron and Audrey just woke up from their little puppy nap, so if you hear pitter patter, that's them. I have a lot of announcement stuff this week for you. Not a lot of knitting, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot to grab my sewing. So before we get into all the announcements and giveaways that are coming up, I'm going to go into what am I wearing before I forget. I'm wearing the Vortex shawl by Charlotte from the Charlotte and Gus podcast, and it is in La Bien-Aimée, the merino singles in Yellow Brick Road, Undergrowth, and the blue speckles is Sosu, and I love it so much. I'm very happy that it's cold enough in my apartment right now that I can be wearing this, only because there's a vent right above my desk. And I am wearing my skeleton Anna dress from By Hand London. I feel like it hasn't gotten enough airtime, so we're back. And we tried makeup today because we've got like 500 weddings coming up. So just let me know if it looks weird or if anything crazy happens to my face. All right, so we have a couple giveaways going on. Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast and designs graciously donated a copy of her blending, what is it called? Color blender shawl or scarf pattern. It is a beautifully scrumptious fingering weight held double wrap, so it like marl blends the colors across it, and I'm very excited to, I kind of want to do a Rhinebeck version of it, like just collect all the Rhinebeck colorways from this year from everybody and make it one of those. But she donated a copy of the pattern to you guys for a giveaway, so thank you so much for doing that, Mina. I'm very excited to start slowly putting mine together. So the giveaway will go on from today, August 20th, until next Sunday, August 27th, when I record again. There will be a thread in the Ravelry group with all the rules and the prompt where you can enter, and I will pull a random number from that to draw the winner. And so our prompt for that is, are you a huge, giant cape shawl person, or do you prefer the long, skinny, slightly shorter shawls that you can wrap around like a scarf? Yeah, bud? What do you prefer? I prefer my Night's Watch cloak because I am a dire wolf. So that giveaway will be up in the Ravelry group. And again, thank you, Mina, for donating a copy. I'm super excited to see what people do with that. Our second giveaway, that's right, we got two this week. A lovely viewer of the podcast contacted me and asked if she could send some goodies for the podcast and you guys and some for me. So thank you so much. I didn't ask if I could say your name on the podcast, but you know who you are. And it's just it was such a gracious package of goodies. So she sent a couple sets of Hiya sharps, and I do all my socks concurrently now, if not most of them, if I have two sets, but she sent three sets of needles, so I figured maybe I'll make a sock kit out of some of the stuff. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other two skeins yet, but this is definitely gonna be a giveaway sock kit because I just couldn't help myself. It is a skein of hedgehog fiber on their sock base, which is 90-10 superwash merino nylon. So in the genie colorway, and I just like, look at these neon speckles. I don't know what it is, but like I want fall colors and I want neons right now. But I know not a lot of people get to try hedgehog, so I thought this would be the perfect time for somebody to win a skein of hedgehog and Hiya sharps, because I know these are very popular amongst knitters. I've never tried the sharps, only the regulars. So we're gonna do a sock kit giveaway, so you get a pair of needles, you get a skein, and I made a little Corgi stitch marker. I'll Try and get it to stop shaking. There it is. A little Corgi stitch marker progress keeper to go with it. So this will also run from August 20th to 27th. The giveaway thread will be in the Ravelry group. What's up, bud? Do you want to smell the yarn? Smell good? Yeah. Iron or Bruce. Same thing, I will random number generator pull out of that thread, and the prompt for that is, what sock pattern have you just not cast on but really want to? Be it because you think it's too challenging, or you just waiting to learn how to do that skill set, or just keep casting on other things and not casting on the one you want to, even though you want to, you know, that pattern. What is that sock pattern for you? So maybe you can knit it out of this yarn. She also sent along the other Hayas and a skein of Woolen Vine in fairy hair on her wilderness base, which is the Kid Mohair, Superwash Merino, and Nylon blend. I don't know how often she has this base in there. I'm a little bit tempted to keep this one for myself because I've never knit with mohair, and I've heard really good things about this base. So I am very tempted to make a pair of socks out of this. And this guy, which is the Hedgehog sock. Hedgehog Fibers twist sock in the teacup colorway, which is just so beautiful and delicate, and I love it. So I'm gonna put this in the giveaway box, I think, as well. I'm very tempted to keep both of these because they're just beautiful. And I've never knit with either of these bases, but we'll see if I can't help myself. Thank you so much for sending me that. I am very excited to get something onto those needles. I might cast on Wilderness or Fairy Hair on those needles. You know, keep them together. Keep them happy. So those are our two giveaways. They will both be in the Ravelry group. And yeah. All right, our other announcement is we are gonna do the Coco dress make along from Tilly and the Button. So once again, if you go to the Ravelry group, in the threads, there should be a thread open. I'm gonna update it today about what you need to do to prep for week 1. Getting your pattern, getting your fabric, making sure that you have all the right notions, like new needle, the right color thread, all that sort of thing, and reading your directions. Read the directions before we even start. That way there's no surprises. Or if you need to get new needles, I do believe they want you to get a twin needle, but that might be for another pattern, so don't quote me on that. I have to read the pattern. So that is ready to go, and I'm very excited. I haven't ordered my fabric yet. I think I'm gonna order it this week, but I have so many to choose from. So we have a shelf at the end of our bed that holds Jake's cigar boxes, and it looks like Iron's trying to sleep in the shelf. What are you doing, bud? What's going on? Nope, there's a tennis ball. He got a tennis ball stuck there. You gonna put those back? All right, and our last announcement. So we have a release date for the Volca sock kit. All the kits will go live in my shop, Once Upon a Corgi, on Etsy at 10 a.m. Friday, September 1st. So you will, included in the kit, you get the 1 skein of yarn, the mini skein, a progress keeper, and you will get a code to use for your Ravelry download for the pattern, and the pattern will include Becky's new depth seal. We got in the charms, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna show you the two. Depending on the mini skein, will depend on what progress keeper you get, and those are all set, so you can't mix and match them. We just wanted to make it as easy for us as possible. So if you have the Dark Like My Soul mini skein, you will get the cloud, the rain cloud. Aren't these just the cutest? Here, I'm gonna open this up, or not open it up, but and then there's all of Hannah's information. Don't know if it's gonna focus, not sure. All of that will be in the show notes. And then if you get Hedwig or something sinister as your mini, you will get this guy. They're just so cute. I can't, like, she does these by hand. They're just so adorable, and I can't handle it. So those are in, everything else is set up, and September 1st, we are a go. If you don't want to get the sock kit, but you still want to get the pattern, Becky will release the pattern September 1st to go alongside, so you can do the kit that includes a pattern, or just get the pattern, whatever you want to do. I'm just super excited about that. I can't wait for that to go into the world. We put a lot of work into it, and I'm excited to see them, see our sock babies grow up. All the kits are in like a gigundo tote. over here. So that's why I keep looking back there. And that is it for announcements. I know it's gonna be literally the whole podcast. It's just me talking to you, talking at you really, because no one's responding. It's just my phone screen. Let's get into the knitting. Surprise, I have no FOs, none. I have not finished anything. That's fine. I'm chugging along on some stuff. So we got whips. And we got a lot of sweater whips. So let's start with those. The more I look at these three in the screen, the more I want them to live in a shawl together. The sweater we've been working on the most is the Hope Cardigan by Aimy Christoffers. I'm knitting this out of Lanal, Plantae, naturally dyed Rambouillet in Marigolds. And this is Rhinebeck sweater number 2. And it looks like a uterus from the side. An elongated uterus, really. It's knit side to side, not top to bottom or bottom to top. So this is the right sleeve that I've cast on, and then all these little fallopian tube stitches are the body. So we're here. So this is what it's doing. I'm in love with this pattern. I'm in love with this yarn. The less you yell at me, the faster I can do this, and then the faster we can play. I'm just in love with this. I love it so much. The yarn is squishy and really soft, and I'm just so excited. I had a little kerfuffle because I finished all the repeats, and then I totally skipped the next 8 rows of setup before you cast on for all the body. So I cast on the body, knit like an inch, and then realized what I did. So I ripped back and fixed it so I had enough stitches. But this has just been my go-to pick up and knit, and I love it. I love it so much. I have no idea what row I'm on. I really just want to knit on it right now. So this will be, yeah, Rhinebeck sweater number 2. I'm gonna probably wear this on Friday, and then Rhinebeck wear it on Sunday, I think. I think that's my plan. And I'm still in the first cake. I have 3 skeins of this giant floofy beauty. The cake's not very pretty, so apologies. It's just so squishy. I think that's the best color representation. As I ruin the cake even more. And it is living in my Anna Hersey Harry Potter bag. We did a swap about a year ago. Yeah, it's Anna Hersey Designs, I believe. She does shawl patterns on Ravelry. And our next sweater that's living in our goth bag got lots of love yesterday, and that is my Franco Faded. And we have Franco Faded into our second colorway. Look, it's almost a sweater, right? So our first colorway is Sunset on the Seine, and this is Franco Fee Knits on her Normandy base, and we have faded into Aperitif on her Pyrenees base, which is her Polworth, and I'm so happy with it. It's such a good, just giant sock tube is what we're doing. I don't think I'm doing any waist shaping or anything, just knitting a giant tube. I knit, I want to say this whole thing we had a knit group at Mina's yesterday, and that was just a lovely afternoon spent knitting and baby watching. And I got pretty much from the armpit down done. So very productive day. I did a little bit on the train too. It's just so squishy. And I love this yarn. I just love it so much. I love how the pink got a little bit more saturated, and then the speckles are getting more saturated. I'm gonna try and start fading into the 3rd skein by next week. That's my goal. I'd like to be doing the body by the pumpkin cow. I think that's my goal. I think that's doable. Is that all I had to tell you about that? Knitting it on size 3 needles. Andrea Mowry designed it. You know the faded. It's everywhere. Our sock whip, our weekly Game of Thrones update. We just had a new neighbor move in, and their dog is not quite happy yet, so we've got the London Howl going on over here. Game of Thrones sock update. We have a heel. We have part of a foot. We are go. Obviously this is gonna get lots of love tonight because we usually watch the Game of Thrones episodes twice in one night now. It's about 5 minutes of what? But, and then we just rewatch it and then analyze everything and then rewatch it again sometimes. Depends on the Sunday. go over this again. It is the Yorkville sock pattern by Mina Philipp from her New York sock collection in the Stormborn colorway from Madeline Tosh on their BFL sock on 2.25mm knit pro zings in my Stitching Plaza bag. It's just such a delight to knit on these. Like I put them down and then by Wednesday I forget about them, and then Friday rolls around and I get really excited. I'm like, oh, I can knit on those socks again soon. Our other whip, I haven't touched the Grand Central socks. I think I put like 2 rows on them. Or my sock tube, but I did cast on my Volca sock. And in my Stitched by, oh god, what did I just throw? Oh, stitch marker. Stitched by Jessilu needle holder, which is holding my other needle. And it's a little Star Wars one. A little Stormtroopers, little BBA. So these are this is the Volca pattern by Becky from Soprano Knits and Stringing It Together. This is one of the kits, so you get Something Sinister on the base, Dark Like My Soul as the mini skein, and this is on the new penny base. And I've got my little rain cloud, and I love it. And we got a little bit of stockinette to go, and then we're gonna put the new depths heel in. I'm just loving this pattern so much. It's very potato chippy, and each little bump changes ever so slightly as you go. So it's not the same thing all the way down. Which is a lovely, did I like miss a bump here? Oh no, maybe it's just not sticking out all the way. Looks like I missed a row. I think I knit like 1 too many rows right here. This is when I was talking, can you tell? I just love the way it looks. It just looks so squishy. And like, it feels quilted. Like it's only 1 strand of yarn, but the pattern just makes it feel so squishy. I'm very excited to try her heel. I do enjoy Mina's, the German short row heel with the gusset. So I'm very excited to try this new heel. I haven't knit it yet. I kind of want to put it in now. I don't know if it's long enough. Oh yeah, it's long enough. I'll put like 5 or 6 rows of stockinette and then I'll put the heel in. Man, this is the first thing, or first like real thing I've knit out of the penny base. I have a shawl in the penny base, but I have like this much done. I have to work on that too. This is the first sock I've knit out of the penny base. This is the first thing I've knit out of Something Sinister, and I'm just really happy with it. I love the way this looks. I love the way it's knitting up. I'm so excited to see them out in the world. And this is living in my Sockcetera bag from way back when. And little kittens with yarn balls. Oh, there are my scissors. I found them. Thought I lost these. I'm very excited for this pattern to be out in the world. Yeah, that's what I've been knitting. Not a lot of progress on not a lot of projects. But that's good. I like to see things starting to move. Got Santa's secret tea today. So the other week we did a very productive sewing day. So I have a little bit of sewing. My family and I and friends go to the New York Renaissance Fair every year, and as you know, I do the SEA stuff. With an event coming up, you can't just not have a new outfit. Like, am I supposed to repeat my Renaissance Fair outfits? So I did the only thing that I knew to do, and that was make up a pattern, and sew it. So I am making a Elizabethan style jacket, and I'm going to make a new like gown skirt, and this is all based around the corset I bought last year at the Renaissance Fair. It's this beautiful blue. Right now it's still in like packed up from being taken over to my friend's house, but it's a lovely blue corset with little bits of silver and gold metallic thread. So I'm doing a gold/yellow and blue themed dress, and I'm super excited. We sort of Franken patterned a lot of this. I used a lot of references from the Tudor Tailor, which you can get on Amazon, and is an amazing, fairly historically accurate, from what I've seen, book of the Tudor to early Elizabethan era style for both men and women's clothing. So we used that as a reference, and we used we made like, not slopers, which are supposed to be like a dress of 0 ease, so it's the exact like body shape that you want, so you can use that to kind of adjust your sewing patterns. but we made like bodice versions of them for ourselves so we can just whip out tutor dresses like it's nobody's business, because that's what we do. Sorry, I have fiber in my nose. So we used my bodice sloper and references from this book and created our own pattern on Swedish tracing paper. I felt so like super official doing this. So here we go. And somebody asked in the Ravelry group for the Coco dress about tracing patterns, and Swedish tracing paper I highly recommend, because you can see the pattern through it, so you can trace over it, and then if you need to make adjustments, you can erase and start over. So this is my front pattern piece. There's my back. And it has gotten me super excited for drafting my own patterns for stuff, which is what most of the SCA clothing is, because like we have some we have some general idea of the patterns, but sometimes you just want to make it up too. So we made the pattern pieces. I did essentially the muslin, but I made it out of non-static silk lining. So this will be the lining of the jacket. Let me put it on for you, So this is the lining. It's a little bit big. The arms are a little bit weird. They're very high up in my armpit, so I haven't figured out how to fix that yet, but I only wear it for like one day at a time. And it fits really nicely. I think it's gonna fit very well. Like it looks snug here, but I will be wearing a corset when I wear this. So I think I mean, obviously this is not done. This will all be adjusted accordingly, but pretty good for making it up. I haven't figured out how to close the jacket yet. I made my muslin, and then any adjustments I made to the lining, I then translated into that pattern and cut out the outer fabric. This was some silk I got at my first, was it Belfars? Yeah, my first Belfars challenge. And it's this like fake quilted gold silk. And I'm very excited. I haven't cut out the sleeves yet. I have to do some adjustments. And I want to try it on for the armholes again and see if maybe if I just lower, like cut a little bit out of this and just bring that bit down to see if that'll help any. There we go. So it'll be lined with black, and the black will be showing here. So I am very tempted to do some embroidery, but maybe at a later date. There we go. I haven't thought of closures yet. Maybe buttons, maybe hook and eye. I'm just very excited. And it's silk, so it's not going to be too hot, which is perfect. Ooh, let me get the fabric for the skirt. That will be matched with this fabric for the skirt, and I'm super excited. It's like my almost Hufflepuff dress, but with a Ravenclaw corset. So that's all my crafting. That's really it. That's it. You know, that's it. Half hour later. So we're going to do an Ask Away this week. We're going to do 2 questions because they kind of go hand in hand. So the first question is from Betty Doxy. She says, "Hey Gabby, I'm planning on starting dyeing yarn with hopes of eventually selling my work. I have many ideas for fun colorways and have an initial source picked out for the dyes and bases. What I'm wondering is there anything you really wished you knew before you started dyeing? What do you wish you didn't have to learn the hard way?" And the second question is by Chargi, I think. And that is, "I want to start dyeing. Where do you recommend I start?" So to start with, I want to start dyeing. What do you recommend? I recommend books and tutorials and watching videos and just trying to learn as much as you can before you get into the dye pots. That way you're not super surprised, or you like already put dye on the yarn and then you will realize you didn't soak it in citric acid or do that. So I started with this book, which is Hand Dyeing Yarn and Fleece by Gail Callahan, and I thought this was a fantastic book. It is also spiral bound, so it lays flat, and it goes through a lot of different techniques, from dip dyeing to painting, like hand painting, immersion dyeing, tie dyeing, self-striping even. I would also recommend The Woolery has a really good instructional DVD for dyeing in your kitchen, so I would check them out. And Jinx, Laura behind Jinx Yarn and The Dyer's Notebook has a really good dyeing tutorial like set playlist on her channel, so I will also link to that. For stuff that I wish I didn't have to learn the hard way for dyeing, I'm not really sure of anything off the like past 2 hours that I've been trying to like think of this question. on the dyeing side of it. I did a lot of research beforehand. I watched a lot of videos. I read 2 or 3 very similar books to the hand dyeing. I did not get the instructional DVD, but my mom did, and she said it was super helpful, and Adrian thought it was really helpful too. I think the hardest thing, like the thing that surprised me the most, was the water levels of the dye, like learning how to judge how much water you're gonna need. Like if you want a tonal yarn, you're gonna want the yarn to like move around more in the water, but if you want like a very concentrated speckly yarn, you don't want a lot of water for the dye to go crazy and go all over in. So I think that was the hardest. I think that was the like the trick that got me the most with starting to dyeing. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope that answers both of your questions. I'm gonna have links to all of the resources in the show notes, so you can just click and go. And yeah, I hope that answered your question, Elizabeth. I know that wasn't a really solid answer, but that's what I have. That's what I have for you. All right, that leads us into shop update and life stuff. So if you're not here for either of those, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, let's get into it. Our shop update will be on Monday, August 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at onceuponacorgi.com, and I really hope you can make it. We've got some fall colors for you. Let me pull them over. So we will have the No Sleep Till Rhinebeck update, and we will have this on Oliver, Ginger, Audrey, Penny, Cecil, Isaac. So yeah, this is the 2017 Rhinebeck colorway. This is it on Cecil, and I really want to knit a sweater out of it. But I know, Audrey, I have too many sweaters on the needles already. So the bulk of this will be the Rhinebeck colorway. I try to do a lot on each base, so there's plenty for this round. I don't know how many times I'm going to dye it this year. It depends on the schedule and the demand. We will also have the fall line, not the fall line, but fall theme. We'll have Tweedy Librarian on Iron, which is our tweed base. And I was working on a custom order, and we came up with this colorway, and I decided it needed to be on the tweed base, and it is Pum Queen. I love it. So that is Pum Queen on Iron, and I have these guys set aside for myself. So here, so without the tag, because I really want to knit colorwork mittens out of these, and I really want to knit the pumpkin spice colorwork mittens out of these. And I know like variegated yarns probably aren't the best, so I think I'm gonna swatch, but I just really want them to be colorwork mittens because it'd be so cute. So we will have Pum Queen and Tweedy Librarian in the shop, and we have the fall line being released. So we will have, because pumpkin spice, we will have Nia, we will have Pumpkin Throne coming back, and Zombie Kangaroo. And those will be across Isaac, Penny, Ginger, and Oliver. We're gonna get Marie Cutie back for the next update. Oops, I kicked you again. I'm sorry. Along with those, we have some like one-of-a-kind runoffs from test dyes or dyes gone wild going in. So we will have this guy on the Ginger base. We called him Bag End. We will have these two, which were supposed to be Zombie Kangaroo, but the black took over a little bit. So this is Drogon. These two will be in the shop. These are all one-of-a-kinds. And we'll have That's a Space Station, and this is on the old penny base, so this will automatically go up on clearance for 20% off. So that is the shop update. That will be up Monday, tomorrow, August 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and everyone seems really excited about it, so that just makes me really excited about it. And as an little explanation, Etsy is doing this new sales coupons promotion thing. They've been slowly rolling it out, so you can do coupon codes, or they're letting you do a certain % off sale, and you can go through and individually select listing items. to put them on sale. So I did that with the old penny base and some of the bases that we're not gonna carry anymore or we're testing and didn't really do well, so we're just gonna put them on sale. You know, make them a little treat for you guys. So I did that, and according to Etsy, some sellers can see the promotions, but all sellers will get the discount. And I've had a couple people ask me, like, how do I do this? It's showing up as full price. I'm not 100% sure what they're like, what to do about that. I've been looking on Etsy and trying to get in contact with them to figure out that thing, but I've gone through all the orders, and even though on my end it still shows up as 28, when you do the math and look at the total, it's coming out as the $22.50. I don't know if that's actually the price, but it's coming out, their total is the skein on sale. So I'm not really sure what to say to people at this point, but August 22nd, everybody will be able to see this promotion. So they said that they only they're showing a certain amount of seller or certain amount of buyers on Etsy, but August 22nd, the whole thing is gonna get launched across Etsy. So if you can't see it now, try again then. You should be able to see it then. I'm not really sure what they're doing. So that's that. There is a lot of stuff still up there, like the 100% BFL bases. I think all the yak's gone, and then some of the old penny base, just to kind of make room for the shop. And that's it for shop update. Thank you so much for supporting, and it just means the world to me. And our last segment is life stuff. So if you're not here for Not Yarny Chit Chat, thank you for watching. If you are, let's do this. Yeah, we had the sewing day last week, which was pretty productive. For most of the day, we kind of just ate pizza and played with dogs, but it was, you know, we got a lot of sewing. We got a lot of sewing planning done. Yeah, yesterday I went down into the city to see Jacqueline and Julie and Denise and Tanya and Mina and Layla, and it was just a wonderful evening of early afternoon to evening of knitting and snacking and chit-chatting. It was so much fun. It was a disaster and a half getting there, apparently, because Connecticut is obsessed with oysters and oyster festivals, and the Milford Oyster Festival was yesterday, so the one left I had to take to get to the train station was blocked. So I had to like drive around the town 5 times and kept driving past this one police officer, and I'm like, I just want to get to the train station. It took me way longer to get there than necessary. Also, everyone and their mom was at Dunkin' Donuts that day. Like, it was like a 15-minute wait to get coffee. 2017, guys, come on. Lots of work, lots of Rhinebeck dying and planning and getting excited for that, and kind of trying to figure out where I want to take the shop. I want to go forward with stuff. I am thinking about doing a lot of dye to order setups, so then for like tonals or lightly speckled stuff, like the base colorways, you can dye to order and then just do shop updates of like the highly speckled stuff. I know this is also kind of shop stuff, and me just thinking out loud. So yeah, I've been talking to Jake and like having him help me look at the shop from not a knitter's perspective, which has been really helpful. We're pretty settled in. I'm working on, I have to get some paint to paint my new sewing table and reset up my crafting corner. I'm gonna reorganize this guy, I think. I haven't decided yet. Every time I come to sit down and tell you about my life stuff, I don't know what to tell you. I know, guys. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna eat some lunch and go take the dogs on a walk. They just gave me that look like, did you just say that word? That's not a joking word, Mom. Say that? Do you promise? Thank you so much for watching and coming back every week. Thank you so much for participating in the cows and the giveaways and supporting the shop. Have a really good week. Bye.